What's up guys, and welcome to today's video, and welcome back to my current split of 2023. It's January, it's a new year. Obviously we've got to get it done, hit new goals. Today is the leg day. It's a full-on leg day where I'm not really prioritizing any specific muscle group. It's not like a quad dominant day or a hamstring dominant day. It's just a little bit of an all-rounder, and I've picked some of my favorite exercises to hit the quads, the glutes, and the hamstrings. So let's get started with exercise number one. First exercise we're going to do today is the seated leg curl with the pad support. This is, in my opinion, the daddy-o of the hamstring exercises. I've said it before in previous videos just because of how locked in place you are. Like, there's no movement here. I can't cheat. Everything is completely focused on the hamstrings. And I also like to do this exercise to begin with so that it just loosens up my hamstrings so that I can improve how much depth I get when I'm doing a compound movement, which will follow on from this. The first set, it's not even a first set, we're just gonna be warming up, gradually lowering the weight, and then once I've reached my working weight, I will start with a desired number of reps. Just adjust this. Everything has to be perfect. A pointer, by the way, you want this pad to be pressing just at the bottom of your thighs. You don't want it on your knees. If it's pressing onto your knees, then it's gonna feel absolutely horrible. There we go. Can't move, let's go. Ten reps, 3 sets. I don't want to be reaching failure on the first set. We'll leave it for the last set. Nice. It is a little bit difficult counting the reps and the tempo. One of the best ways to do it in my head is I just go 3, 2, 1, da, 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 3, 2, 2, da, 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 3, 2, 3, da, da, and so on until I've hit number 10. It's better than nothing. If you do have a training partner, then they can obviously count for you. That's probably the best, because when you try and count a 3-second negative, you always try and speed it up, because obviously it's painful, it's unpleasant. So you have to stay disciplined with the 3, 2, 1. Nice. By the way, because this is more of an isolation exercise, we are going to be setting the rest period at 60 seconds, okay? So relatively short. Last set. My advice for you guys, if you're a beginner and you've not trained legs for a very long time, then don't push to failure, just do the 10 reps. If you are more of an advanced trainer, you've been training consistently, and you can handle a bit of discomfort, then let's push beyond failure. I'm going to push beyond failure and just basically do what I can. Week 3 and 4, we're going to be doing drop sets. Week 1, we don't need to drop set at this stage. Oh, 15. So next week, definitely we'll be able to go heavier. I'll be able to do at least 1 more pin. Back of the legs are nicely warmed up. Now it's time to destroy the quads. We're going to be doing pendulum squat. Now, if you are lucky enough to have this at your gym, take advantage of it. If you don't have it, I would replace it with some form of a hack squat, or even a heel elevated back squat or front squat. It just, whatever you do, it needs to be a quad dominant exercise, this one. Okay, so I'm just going to familiarize myself with this. There we go. So to begin with no weight, just play around. The most important thing is to find the foot positioning where you can go as deep as possible, keep your heels on the ground, and still maintain the tension on the quads. One of the best things about this exercise is no matter how poor your flexibility is, you should still be able to get the full range of motion because of the way this is set up. I've had my shoes off because I want added stability I don't really want to be like rocking backwards and forwards. So let's have a look at what tempo I have set myself. 3011. So we just want to focus on the 3-second negative, no rest at the bottom, 1 second up, 1 second pause, but we don't want to lock out. That's the most important thing. We're just coming up to this point here where we're still keeping tension on the quads. We're not resting, okay? Maintain the tension throughout the set. And we're gonna do 8 reps. So 8 reps because I want to focus on a little bit more strength, okay? So let's get this loaded up with some plates. How many warm-up sets you do is dependent upon how much weight you're gonna be lifting. If you don't need to be lifting that much weight, then you probably only need to do 1 warm-up set. But if, like me, you're gonna be stacking it up quite a bit, then obviously you'll need to do a couple more warm-up sets. So it is gonna add a little bit to the overall duration of your workout, but one way to speed it up is just to rest, short rest in between these warm-up sets. Fucking hell, it's sharp. It's like literally digging into my foot. Let's go, baby! I will count that as my first working set, but I will be increasing the weight a little bit for set 2 and 3, and I'll be giving myself 90 seconds rest period in between these sets. So make sure you do that on the timer selection. Woo! That was a good weight. I think for the final set, I'm going to do extra 2 reps on this weight. Week 3 and 4, we'll be doing drop sets on this. It's good. It's good. That last set, everything you got. Everything you got. That feeling of not getting out of that last rep, you know when you've got a little bit more left and you don't hit it and you finish the set and you're just so disappointed that you gave up when it starts to get uncomfortable. Just think about how shitty that feeling is. Give it 100%, give it your best shot, and when you know you're giving it 100%, you feel so much better about it. So the next exercise is going to be the Romanian deadlift. Pretty straightforward. Although there's a way to do this so that you hit your hamstrings, there's a way to do it so you hit your glutes. I'm going to do it in a way so that it hits my glutes. Naturally, when I do this exercise, I just feel it more in my glutes anyway, so I'm not going to try and make this a hamstring dominant exercise. So what I'm going to do, as I go down, I'm going to push my hips back and I'm going to bend my knees a little bit. That little knee bend creates a stretch in my glutes. And then I'm going to thrust up, down, stretch, and up. This is genius. How good is that? Very cool. Just finished the 3 sets Romanian deadlift, fairly fatigued. Now we're gonna go on to a leg extension. Great exercise for the quads, in my opinion, if done properly, in terms of the way you set yourself up and in the way you execute the exercise, it's not going to be damaging for your knees, okay? So always slow, under control, and make sure that you've set yourself up so that your knees are not pointing out like that. You want your knees about fist apart at all times, okay? Not like that. Fist apart. Make sure that the the entire hamstring is basically in contact with the pad. You don't want to be hanging off the pad like that, because that's when you are going to start fucking up your knee. So get it nicely locked in. As always, we're going to do one set, just warming up, feeling it out, and then we'll go into the working set. "12 reps. Let's go." This, like many exercises, will start to feel disgusting, maybe even 6 or 7 reps in, but you have to fight the discomfort, stick to the tempo, maintain the form, and get it done. So, Chris has actually just pointed this out. I was wondering what this was, I've never seen it before. This is the setting, so you can load, or you can choose where you want to load the peak resistance. So you can choose the mid, end, beginning, middle end, middle, beginning. Absolutely mental. So let's go for, we'll go for number 5. So we've got the beginning and the middle of the range. I would imagine most people don't have the option of selecting this, but I guess it just goes to show where machines are heading in the future. I've seen a lot of them recently where you can actually choose which part of the range is going to be loaded the most, which can be good to vary it from time to time. But I would say in most instances, it's always better to load up the range where your muscle is in the lengthened position. Lengthened to mid position, that's where you want to load it up the most. Pumpy, pumpy, pumpy. These shorts are about 5 years old as well. Still doing absolute bits. Don't even ask me where I got them from, because you will not be able to buy these anymore. Vintage Nike shorts. But this is available. Thirstofficial.com. Get involved. Vests, t-shirts, hoodies, tracksuit bottoms, and of course the swim shorts. Last set. Week 1. We don't technically need to be doing a drop set. That will come in later weeks. But I'm gonna do it today, because I feel like it. Feeling good. Drop by a third, and then we'll just go to failure. Lusty. Gonna have to do some calves, because the upper leg is looking a little bit out of proportion compared to the lower leg. I've got calves, but they're not like, nothing to brag about. So we'll be finishing off today's workout with some calves, but we're gonna do one more hamstring focused exercise. This pendulum squats, focus on the quads. Romanian deadlifts. Romanian deadlifts is kind of like glute and hamstring, a bit of both. Seated leg curl obviously was hamstring, so I'm gonna hit another hamstring exercise, I think. So we'll crack on with that. Lying leg curl, we're gonna do 12 reps. 12 reps and 5 partials. You have to focus as much as possible on pressing your hips into the pad, okay? Don't let this happen, okay? If you do this, you're cheating and your lower back is starting to engage. So always push into the pad. So we've finished with the upper leg. Now we're gonna go focus on some calves. Usually I would separate calf training from leg training because, you know, a lot of the time after I've smashed my legs, I don't have the energy or the focus to train calves, but we'll do it today. We'll just do 3-4 sets, standing calf raise. And for you guys, if calves is a weak point, then you are going to have to smash them more than just, you know, 3 or 4 sets. I'd recommend that you would actually dedicate, you know, a separate session to just training calves, whether it be a rest day or just before, like, you know, arms or something like that. Haven't trained calves for a while. Woo. So if you don't have this machine, you could either do a similar movement on a leg press, like a horizontal leg press, not horizontal, vertical leg. What the fuck am I talking about? Horizontal. It's that one, isn't it? Or you could do seated. Doesn't really matter at this stage. 60 seconds rest in between these. Massive, massive, huge. Soon to have their own orbit. I really do think the art of calf training is just your ability to deal with how fucking uncomfortable and disgusting it feels. It's not nice. Like, it makes me want to cry, to be honest. Last one. With each progressing week, we're going to do an extra set on top, okay? So week 4, you're going to be doing 6 sets. Fuck me. So that is the leg session done. A nice little wake-up call for 2023. This is obviously, for a lot of people getting back into it, it's going to suck. It's going to be difficult. You're probably going to feel sick, but that's the way it is when you train legs. And you are probably going to be pretty sore afterwards, 3, 4, maybe even 5 days. But it's not always going to be like that. It's just a shock to the system, and you're most likely not adapted to this style of training. But very quickly, after a couple of weeks, that level of soreness isn't going to be nowhere near as intense. And you'll notice your performance inside of the gym, doing legs, and your recovery is going to also speed up, okay? Assuming that, you know, you stick to the training, eat healthy, and do a little bit of cardio on top. So if you want the full routine with all the sets, reps, tempo, tutorial videos to go along with this workout over a 5-week period, I suggest you sign up to the Thirst app. Next best thing to having me as a trainer. And if you want to watch the other 2 sessions from this January 2023 split, we've got the push day and the pull day. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.